Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Yu Wing. You can call me Yu Win or Win, and I'm so happy that we get to spend this time together whenever and wherever you are tuning in. So, this video is in a 90-day challenge that I started back in September, and it was really to give myself space to speak my truth and to share my story. And so, if that is something that you've been working on, exploring in your journey, I hope this is the sign or the guidance that you need to be able to share your voice in whatever capacity or form that you have been thinking of. So, I do like to start each one of these videos sharing a practice that I use and or have used in my journey. And so this one is something that I really get excited thinking about. But essentially, you know how if you are somebody who journals a lot. Um, you have multiple journals, and depending on how you write them, maybe they're in chronological order. And so, if you had like some revelation or some insightful moment that you wrote last year, you'd have to go find that journal. So, the practice that I came up with was to have a single journal for any insights that I came up with or that I come up with. So I started this probably back last year. It was actually this year, 2025, in February or March. And so whenever I have something that's really profound or impactful, I write it down in the one notebook. So something for your consideration in case it's something that can support you on your journey. And I wanted to talk a little bit about things that I have consciously let go of in my lifetime. So it came about because I was thinking about one of my dear friends that I've known since middle school. And her father passed away recently. And so I'll be going to his funeral. But I was thinking about her and I was thinking about our memories. And then I thought, oh, there were things that I used to do in high school that I consciously decided, hey, maybe I can move on from that, or in different parts of my life. So I thought, oh, maybe that could be something that I talk about here. Um, and then maybe to do a couple of things that I didn't consciously let go of, but came to accept. So, one of the things that came to mind immediately was playing volleyball. So, in elementary school, when we started playing volleyball, it's probably around sixth grade. Um, I played volleyball, I really enjoyed it. I went to middle school, junior high school, and enjoyed playing and was able to make the team, and then played the first 2 years of high school. And then I had made the decision my junior year to stop playing. I kind of wanted to make more space for studying as I was taking on more challenging classes. And then when I got to college, we might have had like intramural volleyball. And so I might have played my first year. And then after I graduated, I did an adult league with some people that I didn't really know. And then I also played with some of my coworkers, and just kind of like nothing super serious, but just to kind of keep it going. And at one point, I was going to these like weekly volleyball like open gym kind of things and was playing and I got injured for the first time. I rolled my ankle on somebody who was on my team who was supposed to block with me, but something happened in the mix. And so after that injury, I decided that I was going to retire. It was um, not an easy decision, but for whatever reason, I felt like it was time. Um, and so, after that healing, I was like, okay, from the time that I started playing volleyball to the time that I retired, I think it was like a good 15 years. So I was like, okay, I'm okay with that. And so because of that, I don't seek it out. I don't often go to things where people are playing volleyball, and I'm like, okay, that's okay. That's okay with me. So that was the first thing that it came to mind when I was thinking of things that I consciously gave up um, for myself. And I think one of the other reasons why I stopped playing and why I decided to quote unquote retire. So the more that I was playing, the more migraines I was getting. And so I was probably getting migraines because I was like getting so warm when I played. And so it was just becoming unpleasant. So I was connected to health um, ultimately. Okay. What is something else? Okay. As 2026 is around the corner, I will again try to um, refrain from buying new clothes. Um, I think there's some categories of clothing that I don't feel comfortable wearing secondhand, um, or items. Like I don't want to buy sheets um, secondhand. I don't want to buy like inner garments, innerwear, pajamas. Yeah, I just would rather not. But in general, the other things I'm going to try to buy secondhand. And then I guess if there are any like other household items, like small appliances, or I don't know, how do you feel about like dishes and plates? I don't know. Um, so maybe continuing to see how I can refrain from adding more junk and trash to landfills. Um, so is that a conscious thing I'm giving up? I guess giving up new clothes. Okay. Let's see. What have I consciously given up? I think I'm and I did this last year, but I've consciously given up online dating. It's I don't think it's suited for who I am and my personality and what I'm looking for at this point. Um, it's overwhelming to my system, and it corners me to have to start something from a dating perspective where I would feel much more comfortable getting to know someone as a human being, as like, I mean, whatever, friend, platonic energy, but just like without the confines of what it means to date, because I don't think I fall under that general blueprint. And so, um, I just decided it didn't feel good, and it felt yuckier and ickier and than I wanted it to. So that's another thing that I've consciously given up. What else? Yeah. I am also trying to give up buying new books. Um, that's why I've been going to the library and just sort of seeing what they have and if they have a book I'm looking for. I'm not usually looking for books, but I enjoy reading a physical book. So I've been really happy to be able to go to my library and pick up physical books. I'm trying to think. This was something that I wanted to come up with as I was recording. Um, consciously giving up. maybe I'll segue into things that I've accepted having to give up because they happen. And I'm like, oh, it kind of sucks, but oh, okay. So I think I've gotten on board and accepted the fact that I have had a lot of connections and relationships sort of weeded out of my life. There were a lot of people in my orbit several years ago, and I I guess slowly it happened, so that was helpful, but at some point when I sort of looked around my social landscape, I was like, "Oh, it's pretty sparse." Um, but whatever sort of conditions and circumstances I found myself in, it was not a I didn't feel bad about it. It just kind of felt like a natural process. And I did really appreciate how much more mental space it gave me. So, I mean, I don't think I was consciously trying to like collect these connections or relationships, but I just was in the vicinity of a lot more people at the time. And so it was easy to say, hey, you want to meet up after work? You want to get together? So it was easy. It was easier, but I'm happy and I've accepted the pruned social landscape that I'm in. One of the other things that I consciously gave up that I am very grateful for is social media on my apps. The ones that left me scrolling for too many minutes that led to hours. Um, and that also took up a lot of head space, mental space. So, uh, happy and grateful for that one. This year was there. Yeah, I think as I'm sharing these with you, it's making me think of the idea that when you can let things go physically and or energetically, it gives you more space to choose what you want to do with the openness. So I think, people might want to fill the space, maybe with a different group or organization or something, but um, I'm at a place where energetically and physically, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I have so many amazing souls who are in my orbit. They just aren't physically close to me right now. And so they are still very, very important to me and to my joy and fun and connections that I get to experience regularly. And I like the potential that is there without being so crowded. And I think from an energetic standpoint, not having so many people physically helps me to not take on so much of other people's energies. And so, definitely still working on finding ways to discern my energy from other people's energies and then what to do when I realize that it's not my energy. Um, yeah. And so, really continuing to develop my pause, my ability to pause so that I can tune in and figure out what the heck is going on. So, yeah, these last the last leg of videos are probably going to be super reflective as I look back at the year. I might even share some of the prompts that I'm going to explore as I journal in my notebook. Um, but thanks for being here. If you are still here, I am so appreciative that you're taking the time out to witness me and this journey that I'm on. I was hoping to maybe be enlightened and inspired of what I might do next for my livelihood or a project. And it hasn't come up yet. And that's okay because I really did this without any attachment to the outcomes. But that was one of the things that I was like, oh, maybe, maybe I'll figure something out, whatever's next for 2026. So we will see, especially as I continue to reflect and figure out what's going on. What is this an opportunity for? What if? What is this a possibility of? Yeah. So if you're still here with me, I know you are the kind of person who is sharing their light in the world. And I'm so grateful and so honored, so happy that you are where you are, sharing yourself and your gifts and your presence, if those things feel safe to share. And thank you for helping to make the world a better place. If we get to connect again, I'm looking forward to it. And if not, please take good care of yourself as you continue on your journey. I will talk to you later. Okay, bye bye.